That's the thing that cats don't get. Like, you never really get away with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the way in which you're made to, you know, pay. You feel me? And self-imposed um, house arrest. You know, the paranoia, um, having to analyze and second guess everybody's drives and motivations, sometimes having to, help people to not make the kinds of decisions that could put them in situations that they can't stand, having to think for others as a real everyday burden. Those are not the kinds of things that are communicated effectively, if at all, through the popular media, by which most of the people who are choosing the streets at this point
Mm-hmm.
are getting their insight into that decision. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that shit, not knowing what that shit entails at all,
Yeah, and
at
that's
all. And when you are a person who has that overstanding and you're in that existence dealing with that degree of potential detriment, bro, you are in your own custom cell. It is a cell that fits you perfectly. Looks like the emperor's new clothes to everybody else. Whatever they can imagine being the best feeling you get from being you, that's what they imagine you're feeling. That's because they're not carrying all the other shit that you came into the understanding of when they threw you in the trunk of that car and, you know, took you through what they took you through. Remove those rose-colored glasses. You know, that's the point of doing this.
I know, right?
To destroy the rose-colored glasses for those who might think that it looked like something.
I appreciate and honor the grace and salvation that I've been given for my life. And because of that grace and salvation that I've been given, because Lord knows, like, I've been in so many situations where I should have been dead.
Mm.
Lord knows I've been in a few situations where I should have got life in prison or the death penalty. But by me overcoming that, I'm humble. I appreciate just that very thing. And me living for the sacrifice is how I honor that appreciation. Me constantly rewarding any solar situation that's put before me to bring life to it. You know what I'm saying? To bring structure to it, to bring support to it, to bring whatever I can bring to remove, even if it's just a little funk, just to remove a little, you know what I'm saying? Is what I live for, to repopulate, and put my family back in the life game. Because had I got life, my family would be extinct. There's no more brown men in our family besides my kids now.
That's right.
To create, you know what I'm saying, a legacy and to bring forth a change with my trailblazing that I know that is really about the life and love of the people. That's, basically it, man. And what I do, it makes me feel great, knowing that I'm able to bring some form of justice to all of the injustice that may have been caused unconsciously, because I would never consciously cause injustice to a soul. So any injustice that I've caused unconsciously, it brings balance to that, along with the things that are people that I've empowered who've been creating injustice as well. So I don't want to leave here knowing that I left something unbalanced in somebody's life or systems pattern, or you know what I'm saying? So I just constantly live to clean my shit up, to clean the shit up with the people who I put in power, to create life, and it's almost to the point to where, like, I want to help a lot of people, but I can't, because with what you just explained, so I just got to keep doing deeds and keep moving on. I want to grab people, like new artists and new people, but it's hard because now y'all gonna make me a trapper by default. So in order to keep me safe, I got to micromanage your shit. You know what I mean? Micromanage you. You know what I mean? And that's gonna put me in the game.
That's a fact.
If I'm gonna be in the game, nigga, we might as well do it.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a harsh reality that very few men come to the conclusion of before it concludes its own on its own. You know, they just keep pushing until that thing ensnares them one good last time. You know, we both have associates who've gone that route and were smarter men than that, but did it anyway. You know, what you're talking about is bearing the burden of the choices that you made long ago before you considered whom you might ultimately become. You know, it's like somebody sitting in prison with life and they're 47, but they made that choice when they were 17 that got them that situation. And it's like, they don't know that 17-year-old. They don't know that person at all. You know, they don't know them at all. The only record they have of that person existing is the record of the thing that they did that got them where they are. Other than that, they got no connection to that person. They don't understand nothing that person was doing, you know. But here they are dealing with the consequences of that person's choices all those years later. And just because you don't go to prison doesn't mean that doesn't work that way. And it's been a real pleasure, bro. It's been a real pleasure. I look forward to some more conversations, you know what I mean, building like this, because the sincerity in your sharing is so powerful and so palpable that there's no way, no degree of ADHD or pill popping or any of that, you know, can circumvent, you know, that frequency, bro. Like if they watch and they listen, it's gonna do something. Real talk, because you kept it 1,000, you know. And I threw a couple of curveballs in there to see how you would handle. And I know you know that. And you know what I mean? Because I wanted to see, am I dealing with a really skilled narcissist, or am I dealing with somebody who is truly sincere? You know what I mean? Those are my old training habits.
Okay.
You know, but a lot comes forth in creating those types of learning opportunities. The people who are watching this, for whom that type of thing resonates, they're able to take that away, in addition to the information you share and the stories and all that shit, you know? And I believe in that. So, and I know you believe in that too. That's why I'm sharing it with you, you know? So I really, man, I can't say enough about how truly impressed I am with your character and the man that you present to be, bro. Seriously.
And that speaks volumes coming from you, who've been in tune and in touch and directly communication with the people of the world that's measured at a high level.
Yeah.
So I want to say I'm humbled, my brother.
Yeah, that's real. That's obvious. That's obvious. Real talk. So, you know, what is next for B&B, for Peanut? What's next?
Well, I think what's next, me aligning with my brother, Suge Knight. We got a lot of things on the floor. He about to shock the world in no time soon. Me aligning with Steve Lobel with LMG Music Group. I think, you know, like that's going to alleviate, you know, like the insecurities or the insurance or the, I guess I can say the lack of
Right.
that because he is familiar with the music business.
Yeah, he's more than familiar.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm thinking if he can really be that and can be straight up, you know what I'm saying, and be fair, because I'm not really going to try to do too much checking behind the fairness, but what he got in me, as far as how my energy is aligned with the universe, his legacy, my legacy can be priceless.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely see that. I definitely see that. But you know, you live and you learn,
Yeah.
right? And um, a lesson that came to mind, many did while we were talking, but one of the lessons that came to mind from my mother was uh, that you can't really pay people or compensate them or compliment them according to um, what they say, or you know, how they represent or how they feel to you. You really have to separate all of that from the actual actions that they take and the impact of those actions on you. Fuck their intent. How are you really being impacted? Which means you have to be taking assessments on a constant basis, which is just really self care. How am I being impacted by this impact, by this encounter, you know, this involvement? And you know, if it's not feeling good more often than it feels good, then you know you have to make a practical decision.
Yeah.
Fuck how you feel. You know, if you align yourself with that going forward, you're an intuitive person. You can trust that intuition. It comes from a very solid place that operates at a level that would boggle your mind, but it won't lead you wrong as long as you listen to it.
Yeah. And I mainly follow too, like this little young girl, she had to been here like 2 times before me. But Brooklyn Queen, that little motherfucker different. She's very, very gifted. I swear, bro. Now you're gonna
Yeah.
meet her. This little motherfucker's different, bro.
Word.
I swear. Like nothing you've ever seen. Like, and I'm saying that from a spiritual space.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not talent wise, it's just a whole nother story. But spiritually, you know, like what she sees, what she feels, what she conveys from her seeing and feeling, she's definitely advanced.
So you are going to move forward in that music or entertainment space. You're just going in with you know, locked in arms with somebody who actually knows their way around, up and down and through it.
Oh wow. Yeah. So that's what I plan to do. And the only people I'm doing it with is the people who have remained loyal through all the triumphs, trials, and tribulations and adversity that I've been through. Like that ain't had nothing to do with them. And they still been right there.
So loyalty should be rewarded.
Yeah.
Any behavior that we find valuable, we should always encourage it. That's why you tip.
Yeah.
When tipping is deserved. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
this has been super dope, brother. Super dope. Like I know, like I told you, I talked to a few of our friends in common, and you know, they already, you know, when I first mentioned it, I'm about to holler at this cat, Brian Peanut Brown. It was like, oh shit, oh shit, like that. I was like, oh word. It's like, oh that's gonna be some shit y'all talking. So you know, it should be I think this should be responded to well. I believe it will. And yeah, man. We definitely have to come on again. I'm sure that there'll be demand for that.
Okay.
You know, and I definitely want to chop it with you once we get off of this. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And build on some other situations and so forth. You definitely need to get into the nonprofit space.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Just establish yourself a nonprofit organization if you don't already have one, and you know, start putting your beneficent nature to work in a deliberate and structured manner that can, you know, benefit you, benefit your legacy, establish, you know, something that it would be outside of the attack of your opposition, you know, because the federal government obviously does not like you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The cartel don't like you because you ain't working for them. You feel me? And so, you know, those types of organizations, they help in insulating you. That's why everybody has them. That's why everybody got them, because that's what they do.
I think me, Mary, and Steve. You know, that's about the only thing I can see right now. And then me and Suge, like we finna line up something, for his series. But
Oh, word. So tell me about that. Tell me what you're doing
yeah,
with Suge.
he's finally finna just talk about his life. He got about over 1,000 hours of tape. You know, I've been helping develop a structure. You know what I'm saying, for the release of it, and I think it's just a timing thing for him. He could have always been done it. Uh, I think that the universe is shifting in his favor,
Mm,
even for his freedom.
yeah,
And I just think he's ready to make an impact for what's to come.
that's what's up.
And
That's what's
we've
up.
made a hell of a connection. You know what I'm saying, over the last
How'd
couple
y'all come together?
through mutual friends. And it's crazy because when I was on the run, he had just started. I'm out here. He had just really started there for a year before I come out here. Because when I was on the run, this is one of the first places I came.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And I ended up meeting Dr. Dre was dropping off DJ Pooh to my movie set on Larrabee Street. I running out Prince's studio, and
So you got a movie set. You're on the run. You got a movie set in L.A.
yeah, I have a 3-picture movie deal with Worldwide Motion Pictures, and we had it was a movie called Blunts and Stunts that DJ Pooh was in,
Blunts
and
and
DJ Pooh was one
Stunts.
of Dre's producers.
That sounds familiar to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible, bro.
Yeah, so we always been around each other damn near for decades, bro. Like, but just this year, like we really been locked in. And, mainly probably because of I identify exactly with who he is,
Mm.
unlike a lot of others. You know what I'm saying? And then when you understand the culture of LA, you know what I'm saying, and gang and all that, like, and then you understand business like that, man, like he sacrificed himself, you know what I'm saying, to make it easy for everybody. You know what I mean? It's kind of like trick. Like these brothers, they sacrifice themselves to make it easy for everybody.
It
And
sounds like your kinfolk.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Sounds
for
just like you.
sure. And he's a fucking genius, man. Talking to him is like history class every day, all day, because he's the start of it
Right.
on this side. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? He's actually the start of it because they was the first one doing them real big movies with hip hop,
Right.
with a lot of his talent. But for the
We
most
was
part,
talking.
huh?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I just say, like I said, it's just like history class, man. I'm just learning so much, and I'm learning business by default, by on some brotherhood shit. But again, it come from me being on some life shit, because he's not on business with me. I'm not on business with him. But because of the brotherhood shit and business surfaces, who's better to do it with than a motherfucker who identify with exactly who you are from a intellectual, spiritual, structural perspective.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Rare and very very far between too.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Uh, uh, there's a very very close friend of ours, Suge mine, Vaughn,
Mm-hmm.
and so Vaughn was engaging a lot when he first got the situation that he's dealing with now,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, Vaughn had spoken to him about me doing his book,
Mm-hmm.
and so that conversation had been had. I hadn't had a chance to follow up with him with it because I think when we were supposed to talk, something happened with a lady or something. I can't remember what it was, but something happened, and or it might have been he might have had a health scare. They got
Yeah.
a health scare or something like that, and then he kind of wasn't really communicating with anybody for a minute,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But yeah, I've definitely been tuned. We met when he came down to Miami and came to visit Meech at the house down there. We were all there.
Okay.
So the movie, the All Eyes on Me movie, that didn't really touch his story like that.
They ain't really had nothing to do with him, honestly, for real. Yeah, but like I said, he's ready now, and I think I would like to think that I help influence that. You know what I'm saying? Not saying
His
that
preparedness.
I directed him or anyway, because the nigga's a genius. He's a fucking genius. It's just that when you talk to somebody and they can talk back, that inspires and motivates you. You know what I'm saying? So he probably had 10, 15 years of talking to people, but they can't talk back.
Yeah.
On an intellectual level. You know what I mean?
Right. They can't feed him.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like he get off the phone and he's back to square one. You know what I'm saying? Like he come up with a thought. I put somebody on the phone, secure that thought.
Right.
And to enhance it and to motivate and bring it to life. That's right real. Before his very eyes. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
So
yeah, that's real value right there, bro.
Yeah. So
yeah.
You know, I would like to think that I, you know, compliment him as a brother. And that's all I want to be. You know, like I'm appreciative of, like I said, the knowledge that I'm getting is priceless. You know what I'm saying? And it don't got nothing to do with adding to my business. It's just the fact of filling in the information from just what you've been seeing and hearing all over the years.
Right.
You know, so, and it just helps with me being able to dissect that information to help figure out some shit in my past.
Yeah, real pleasure, bro. Real pleasure.
Honor for me too.
All right.
For sure.